There is a gentle place inside where the heart whispers and the soul longs for comfort. It is the place where wounds from the past still speak in quiet ways, through the thoughts that repeat, through the emotions that rise unexpectedly, through the way the body sometimes feels heavy for no clear reason. In this space, pain can feel like it has always been there, like a shadow that follows every step. And yet, there is also a truth that waits patiently to be heard. No matter how long pain has been part of the story, healing can begin with the smallest spark of change. One kind thought, one loving word, one affirmation that is chosen with care and spoken with intention. This single act has the power to set a new path in motion, a path toward peace and self-love. When a loving word is planted in the mind, it does not vanish. It stays. It begins to grow quietly, and it carries with it the possibility of rewriting the story that pain once told. Thoughts are not just passing clouds in the mind. They are the architects of feelings, shaping the way each day unfolds. One kind thought is not weak or insignificant. It is a seed. Imagine a small seed placed in the soil. At first, there is no sign of change. The earth looks the same. But deep underneath, life has begun to stir. Roots are reaching out, and a tiny stem is preparing to rise toward the light. In the same way, when one healing affirmation is spoken, the outer world may not shift instantly, but deep inside, something new begins to take shape. A thought like, "I am worthy of love," or "I choose peace today," might seem simple, but it is powerful enough to loosen the grip of old patterns. With every repetition, this seed of thought grows stronger, slowly pushing away the weeds of self-doubt, guilt, or fear that may have lived in the mind for years. It is often easy to underestimate what one small act can do. Many think that change must be dramatic to be real, but the truth is that great change often begins in the quietest way. One single affirmation, spoken with sincerity, can open a door to a whole new way of living. It is not about forcing oneself to feel instantly healed or pretending that pain does not exist. It is about allowing a new voice to speak alongside the old one, a voice of kindness that says, "I am here with you. I am learning to love you. I am listening to your needs." Over time, this voice becomes stronger, more familiar, more trustworthy. It begins to soften the edges of hurt. It invites the heart to rest. It tells the mind that it no longer needs to hold on so tightly to the past. This is where the journey begins, with one choice, one sentence, one truth spoken daily. This is why consistency matters so deeply. Every time a healing affirmation is repeated, it is as though the mind is being gently reminded of a new direction. Old patterns may have been built over many years, repeated so often that they became automatic. But just as the mind once learned those patterns, it can learn new ones. And the most beautiful part is that it doesn't require struggle. It requires steady, loving attention. A daily affirmation works like the rhythm of the tide, washing over the shore again and again, smoothing away the rough edges, carrying away what no longer belongs. Each repetition is a gentle tide that reshapes the shoreline of the mind. At first, the change may be subtle, almost invisible, but the transformation is happening all the same. When an affirmation is practiced every day, it begins to move beyond words. It becomes a feeling. Speaking, "I am safe," not only reassures the mind, it signals to the body that it can relax, that it is no longer in constant defense. This is how daily practice connects the mind and body in healing. The nervous system responds, the muscles loosen, the breath becomes deeper, the heart rate slows. Slowly, the whole body learns to live in a softer state, one that allows love and trust to grow. Pain that once felt locked into the body begins to find release. It is as if the affirmation carries a message to every cell, reminding it of its natural state of well-being. This kind of healing is gentle, but it is powerful. It honors the pace of the soul. There is no rush. A single affirmation a day is not about forcing quick change. It is about building a steady foundation. Imagine a drop of water falling in the same spot each day. Over time, it shapes stone. That is the strength of daily affirmations. They shape even the hardest inner landscapes into something open, soft, and alive again. Each day, the mind becomes more accustomed to kindness. The body begins to trust this new way of being. And without realizing it, life itself starts to respond differently. Opportunities appear, relationships feel lighter, and a sense of inner safety begins to grow, all from the steady return to one simple, loving truth each day. The roots of pain often reach far back into the past, to moments when words or experiences planted seeds of fear, doubt, or unworthiness. These seeds, left unchallenged, grow into beliefs that shape the way life is lived. They influence choices, emotions, and even physical health. But just as one seed created a pattern of pain, another seed, one of love and acceptance, can begin to undo it. This is not about denying the pain or pretending the past never happened. It is about meeting it with something stronger, something more nurturing. When a healing affirmation is spoken each day, it begins to wrap those old roots in compassion. It sends a message to the deepest parts of the mind. You are safe now. You are loved. You are enough. These words start to untangle the knots of old wounds, allowing light and air to reach places that have been in darkness for too long. Over time, the pain that once felt like an unshakable part of identity becomes softer, less defining. There is more space for joy, more room for hope. The daily affirmation becomes like a trusted friend, always there, always reminding, always guiding. And because it is spoken with love, it is never harsh, never demanding. It is simply present, like a steady light in the distance that one can always walk toward. This is why one affirmation a day can heal so deeply. It is not about the number of words spoken, but the consistency of love offered. Each day becomes a step on the path to wholeness, guided by the gentle truth of the affirmation, until one day, without even realizing it, the pain that once felt permanent has become only a memory, replaced by a deep sense of peace. Choosing the words for a healing affirmation is a tender and personal act. Words carry energy. They can either weigh us down or lift us up. When creating an affirmation, it is important to choose words that feel soft yet strong, comforting yet certain. The right affirmation should feel like a warm blanket on a cold evening, something that wraps around the heart and offers a sense of safety. This is not about making a sentence sound perfect. It is about finding a few words that feel like truth when they are spoken. Sometimes it is as simple as saying, "I am open to healing," or "I deserve to feel peace." These are small sentences, but they hold within them the power to start loosening old chains. When the body hears them, it begins to relax. When the mind hears them, it starts to believe that change is possible. The beauty of creating a personal affirmation is that it grows with the one who speaks it. At first, the words might feel unfamiliar, especially if they are very different from the thoughts that have been repeated in the past. But this is where patience matters. Speaking a loving truth every day allows it to settle in slowly until it feels as natural as breathing. An affirmation should never feel forced. It should be chosen with love, and it should be something the heart is ready to hold. A good way to choose the right words is to sit in quiet for a few minutes and ask, "What do I need to hear right now?" The answer will come gently, sometimes as a single word, sometimes as a full sentence. Trust this answer. It is the voice of the soul choosing what will nourish it. Once the words are chosen, they can be woven into daily life in ways that feel easy and natural. An affirmation should not feel like a chore. It should feel like a gift. One way is to speak it softly in the morning before the day begins, letting the sound of the words set the tone for what is to come. Another is to repeat it quietly during moments of stillness, while drinking tea, while feeling the warmth of sunlight, or while sitting in silence before sleep. Mirror work is also a loving way to practice, standing before the reflection and saying the words gently, letting the eyes meet with kindness. Even if this feels awkward at first, over time it becomes a deeply healing habit. The eyes begin to soften, the face begins to relax, and the heart begins to believe the truth it sees being spoken. The important thing is to let the affirmation become part of the rhythm of the day, like a favorite song that plays in the background. Carry it while walking, let it accompany quiet moments, and whisper it before making important decisions. This steady presence allows the affirmation to sink deeper, touching places in the mind and body that have been waiting for kindness. And the more often it is spoken with feeling, the more it shapes the way life unfolds. Over time, the affirmation begins to feel like an anchor, steady, reliable, and always there to return to when the waters of life feel uncertain. The body listens to every thought, and the mind listens to every signal from the body. This is the deep and beautiful connection between them. When the mind is filled with gentle, encouraging words, the body responds with ease. Muscles soften, breathing becomes slower, the heart feels less hurried. Healing is not only about thoughts, it is about how those thoughts communicate with every cell. A daily affirmation acts like a message of safety and love that moves through the body. It tells the nervous system that it is okay to rest, that it does not need to prepare for danger, that it is safe to open up. This is why, when practiced with sincerity, affirmations are not only felt in the mind, but also seen in the body's overall health and balance. Pain, whether emotional or physical, often creates tension in the body. Shoulders may lift unconsciously, the jaw may tighten, the stomach may feel unsettled. These are all signs that the body is holding on to memories and emotions. When a kind, healing affirmation is spoken, it sends a signal to release some of that holding. The body begins to shift out of survival mode into a state where true repair can happen. This process is gentle, but over time it can bring remarkable changes, not just in how the body feels, but in how life is experienced. The more the body feels safe, the more the mind can explore new ways of thinking, and the more the spirit feels free to express joy. Healing is not always about great leaps forward. Often it is about small, consistent acts of love. A daily affirmation is one of the simplest ways to give the mind and body that love. Over time, it becomes a bridge between thought and physical well-being. It teaches the mind to choose kindness over fear, and it teaches the body to live in a state of trust instead of tension. And as the two begin to work together, there is a deep sense of harmony that rises from within, a quiet knowing that every part of the self is moving toward balance and wholeness. Yet it is natural for the mind to resist change, even when the change is good. Old beliefs can feel safe simply because they are familiar, and this can cause doubt to rise when a new thought is introduced. At first, an affirmation might feel like something the mind wants to reject, as if it does not belong. This is not a sign that the affirmation is wrong. It is simply the mind adjusting to a new reality. Just as the body feels sore when starting a new form of gentle exercise, the mind can feel uncomfortable when it begins to stretch into new thoughts. This discomfort is temporary. If the practice continues with patience, the resistance softens, and the new belief begins to feel natural. One way to move through this resistance is to allow it to be there without judgment. If the mind says, "I don't believe this," simply acknowledge the feeling and continue speaking the affirmation with love. Over time, the repetition itself begins to reshape the thought patterns. This is why patience is the most powerful companion to a daily affirmation practice. It allows space for change to take root in a way that is steady and lasting. The goal is not to force belief, but to gently introduce a new possibility each day until the mind and heart are ready to accept it. Sometimes small shifts will be noticed, a lighter feeling upon waking, a softer tone in self-talk, a deeper breath without effort. These are signs that the affirmation is working quietly, even if the mind has not yet fully realized it. This gentle progress is a reminder that healing is not an instant event, but an ongoing process. Each time the affirmation is spoken, it is like watering a seed. Even when the sprout is not yet visible, life is growing beneath the surface. And with each passing day, the roots of this new thought grow deeper, ready to support the beautiful growth that will one day be seen and felt in every part of life. There is a special magic in being guided through a daily practice, a simple ritual that holds you, comforts you, and brings you back to your center. This is where a single affirmation becomes more than just words. It becomes an experience. To begin, find a quiet moment where the world feels still, even if only for a minute. Close your eyes if you wish, and allow your breath to slow. Place your hands gently over your heart and feel the warmth of your own touch. In this space, speak your chosen affirmation with care. Let it roll slowly over your lips, not rushed, not forced. Feel each word as though it is a soft light pouring into your chest. Repeat it again, letting the sound and meaning sink deeper. Between each repetition, pause long enough to breathe in the comfort of the words. This is not about saying it many times. It is about saying it with presence. As you move through the day, let the affirmation stay with you like a gentle companion. When you wash your hands, when you walk, when you pause for a sip of water, invite the affirmation to join you. It will begin to weave itself into your thoughts without effort, becoming part of your inner language. And at night, before sleep, let the same words be the last thing your mind hears. In this way, the affirmation does not only live in moments of practice, it becomes a thread that runs through the whole day, binding together each moment with love. There may be days when the heart feels heavy and the words do not seem to reach as deeply. This is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the practice is needed more than ever. On those days, speak the affirmation slowly, almost like a prayer, and allow the tears or silence to come if they wish. Healing is not always about bright smiles. It is also about honoring the softness and tenderness that comes with releasing pain. The affirmation will still do its work even when it feels far away. It is like sunlight that still reaches through clouds, unseen yet warming everything it touches. With each day of practice, something subtle but profound begins to happen. Life itself begins to respond. The world starts to reflect the truth you are planting within yourself. Small moments of kindness appear. Opportunities that feel aligned begin to unfold. The mind becomes quicker to soothe itself, the body quicker to relax, the heart quicker to open. This is the quiet, gentle power of a consistent daily practice. It works without force, without struggle, simply by showing up again and again for the soul's deepest need, to be loved, accepted, and safe. When you give yourself this love, the world around you shifts in ways you may never have imagined. The people you meet, the choices you make, the opportunities you welcome, all are touched by the vibration of the love you give yourself each day. This is why a single affirmation, when practiced with devotion, can heal not only the heart that speaks it, but the life that grows around it. Healing is a journey with no fixed destination. It is not about reaching a place where no pain exists. It is about learning how to meet life's moments with compassion and trust. One affirmation a day is a gentle way to walk that path. Each word is a step forward, each repetition a breath of courage, each day a soft turning toward peace. The old stories that once caused pain begin to fade, replaced by a new story that is written in kindness, joy, and self-respect. The truth is, you have always had this power within you, the ability to speak love into your own heart, to comfort your own soul, to guide your own healing. It has always been here, waiting for you to choose it. A daily affirmation is simply the key that unlocks it. It is a small key, but it opens a vast door. Behind that door is the freedom to live without the weight of old wounds, to feel at home in your own mind and body, to create a life that feels deeply nourishing. And so, as you stand in this moment, know that you are already on the path. By choosing to speak one loving truth to yourself each day, you are changing the shape of your life. You are teaching your mind to listen to love, your body to rest in safety, and your heart to trust again. There will be days of ease and days of challenge, but through it all, your affirmation will remain like a steady light, always there, always guiding, always healing. Let the final words of today's practice be these: I am worthy of love. I am open to peace. I am ready to heal. Speak them with tenderness. Let them settle in your heart. And know deep within that with each day you choose love, you're creating a life filled with the beauty and wholeness you deserve. The healing you seek is already unfolding, one gentle word at a time, one loving thought at a time, one affirmation at a time. You're becoming whole. And that, dear soul, is the greatest gift you could ever give yourself.